From Ecclestone's brutal Ferrari prediction for Hamilton to Montoya's claim that Verstappen can't match peak Lewis, plus McLaren's dark past and FIA's latest crackdown, this is your F1 News Update. Former F1 driver Anthony Davidson suggests Lewis Hamilton should look to Fernando Alonso's adaptability as a blueprint while preparing for his unprecedented switch to Ferrari power units after 2 decades with Mercedes-powered machinery. Throughout his Formula One career spanning back to his McLaren days, Hamilton has exclusively raced with Mercedes power units, creating what Davidson describes as Mercedes muscle memory that will need to be reset. The contrast with Fernando Alonso's journey proves particularly instructive. But then you look at Fernando Alonso, who has driven loads of different power units, Davidson notes. He comes from a similar background to Lewis in terms of experience and capabilities behind the wheel, so it can be done. The learning curve extends beyond just the power unit characteristics. Hamilton will need to familiarise himself with Ferrari's distinct steering controls and pedal configurations, a comprehensive reset that Davidson acknowledges will take time. I think even he himself is keen to find out how long that is going to take, Davidson observes. It is going to be difficult, no matter how good you are, to learn a new power unit. How long do you think it will take Hamilton to fully adapt to Ferrari's systems? Share your predictions. Ex-F1 Supremo Bernie Ecclestone has delivered a stark assessment of Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari, declaring the 7-time world champion won't last 2 years in Maranello. He pointed to Charles Leclerc's established position within the team and the language barrier as potential friction points. I don't think Lewis will receive the same attention in Ferrari, Ecclestone stated. First of all, the team is happy that Leclerc speaks their language. Even if Lewis were to do well, there would still be many enemies because he arrived suddenly. The veteran motorsport figure also questioned Hamilton's continued motivation at this stage of his career. Ecclestone explained, "I have my own theory about age. It doesn't matter, but it matters how long the same thing has been done. With Lewis, I thought he got tired and lost his motivation." While acknowledging Hamilton's considerable talent, Ecclestone suggested that the British driver's distinctive personality might clash with Ferrari's traditional culture. Ecclestone's remarks, however, stand in stark contrast to the praise from the Ferrari management, who have expressed their support for the 40-year-old driver. John Elkann stated, "Lewis is Ferrari. It is as if he has always been with Ferrari." The sentiment was echoed by Piero Ferrari. "I don't think age is a problem at all. He accepted the challenge with enormous enthusiasm." The prediction comes as Hamilton prepares for his first real test with Ferrari, with the SF25's shakedown scheduled for February 19th, followed by pre-season testing in Bahrain. What's your take on Ecclestone's predictions? Share your thoughts on whether Hamilton can prove the critics wrong at Ferrari. Former F1 star Juan Pablo Montoya believes Lewis Hamilton still possesses the raw speed to challenge Max Verstappen's dominance, provided Ferrari delivers a competitive car in 2025. Drawing parallels between Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, Montoya emphasises that age hasn't diminished their fundamental abilities. The Colombian's most striking claim centres on Hamilton's potential resurgence at Ferrari. If Hamilton has a fast car this season, we'll see the old Hamilton from a few years ago, the Hamilton that nobody can beat, not even Max. However, Montoya raises an intriguing question about the partnership's long-term prospects. The question for Ferrari is how will they keep him motivated? Montoya sees Ferrari making an all-out effort for 2025 success. Ferrari are putting all their eggs in the basket so they can compete this season, he notes, while observing that Mercedes don't have to risk much. McLaren has a huge opportunity to keep dominating before the 2026 regulation changes, where they could become average. What do you think about Montoya's bold claims? Share your thoughts on whether Hamilton can return to his dominant form at Ferrari. When Zak Brown stepped into McLaren's headquarters in 2016, he discovered a Formula One powerhouse in crisis. Speaking candidly about his early days with the team, Brown has now revealed the full extent of McLaren's internal struggles, describing an environment plagued by toxicity and organisational dysfunction. "It was a lot worse than I thought. Brown admitted. I came in knowing that things were not in great shape. You could see the brands on the car, you could see the results. Internal politics had created a corrosive atmosphere within the team, affecting performance at every level. Brown tackled the commercial challenges first, leveraging his expertise to secure much-needed resources. However, the team's issues extended beyond financial constraints. Even after switching from Honda to Renault power units, fundamental problems persisted, though results showed modest improvement. The turnaround began with strategic leadership changes, including the appointment of Andrea Stella as team principal and the recruitment of Rob Marshall from Red Bull. These moves signalled a shift away from the political infighting that had hampered progress. It took a while to turn it around, Brown reflected. It was pretty toxic on the shop floor in terms of the politics. Looking back at the transformation, Brown reveals how the team navigated through its darkest period to emerge stronger. It was quite a daunting task to tackle, he concluded, but we got there in the end. McLaren's turnaround's quite remarkable, and the team is set to be the favourite heading into the 2025 season. What do you think of their transformation, from a backmarker to world champions? The FIA President stands firm on the governing body's controversial new penalty guidelines targeting driver behaviour, particularly focused on limiting profanity and criticism. The regulations introduce a graduated system of punishments, ranging from fines to potential championship point deductions for repeated infractions. Drawing from his own racing background, Ben Sulayem frames the measures as essential for maintaining Formula One's reputation. When I was driving rallies myself, there was a certain amount of discipline, something that is very important for everyone in the sport. Drivers are ambassadors of the sport, he emphasises. His concerns extend particularly to the sport's family appeal, noting, "We don't want parents of children to get the image that we are a dirty sport that they don't want to belong to." The FIA president's stance faces significant pushback from drivers and fans who argue that emotional expression is intrinsic to racing's appeal. However, Ben Sulayem counters this argument by highlighting the professional obligations of F1 drivers. Drivers in Formula One earn millions and are not children but adults, he states, adding that in their job they have a responsibility to the FIA and to the public. What's your take on the FIA's stricter approach to driver conduct? Share your thoughts below. Will Hamilton prove Ecclestone wrong at Ferrari? Do you agree with Montoya's claim about Verstappen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell for your next F1 update.